Netflix's You is enticing. It's chock full of drama, death, obsession, twists, and Joe Goldberg lust. The hit show has now aired for 4 seasons, and I'm sure fans are wondering about what goes on behind the scenes. How do they make those death scenes look so genuine? And how did Penn Badgley almost reject the role of Joe Goldberg? In today's video, you'll learn behind the scenes details about the show You, as well as new details about the 4th season. Victoria Pedretti and Dylan Arnold both initially auditioned for completely different roles. Victoria Pedretti and Dylan Arnold both said that they auditioned for quite different characters in the Netflix series than the ones they ended up portraying. Love Quinn is played by Victoria Pedretti, and Theo Engler is played by Dylan Arnold, who joined the season 3 cast. However, when Victoria Pedretti originally auditioned for the character of Beck in season 1, and Theo auditioned for Joe Goldberg himself, then Love's brother 40 in season 2, things could have turned out very differently. After 2 auditions, he finally made the show's cut and was cast as Theo Engler in season 3. You was first a series on Lifetime, but was scrapped after season 1. You was originally a Lifetime show that aired for 1 season before being canceled. The show was eventually salvaged by Netflix, which purchased the rights to it. The fact that the first episode is titled Pilot is a significant hint the first season isn't a Netflix original. Netflix doesn't do pilot episodes of its shows. We're lucky now that Netflix has picked up the show since we've gotten to see 3 incredible seasons instead of just 1. I bet Lifetime is gutted now they canned the series. If they held out a little longer, it may have boomed like it has on Netflix. The character of Joe Goldberg was thought up in a coffee shop. When the author of You noticed someone staring at her in a coffee shop, she came up with the character of Joe Goldberg. Yes, it's true. Carolyn Kepnes, the author of the books on which You was based, told Refinery29 that she was on Facebook in a Starbucks when the incident occurred. I went on Facebook. I felt someone over my shoulder, and it was a guy standing there glaring at me. The voice clicked for me in that moment. She said, I was obsessing about social media, and I had wanted to write something like this, but it was at that moment that I really got it. Joe is someone who is always the one looking and judging. He's very at ease with that in himself. That's where I found this great outlet for my little frustrations. Aren't coffee shops great places for thoughts and decisions? For the scene where Beck falls on the train tracks, actors had to attend an 8-hour safety course. Beck gets drunk and falls over the subway tracks in one of the first key sequences of season 1. And who is there to help her? Of course, I'm referring to Joe Goldberg. Many safety precautions were in place when the sequence was shot in a New York City subway station. In an interview, Elizabeth Lail, who plays Beck, disclosed that she had to undergo an 8-hour training. Penn Badgley said he took the course as well, and the 2 earned cards allowing them to ride the subway for a year and a half. A lot of characters don't exist in the books. The Netflix show is an adaptation of the original literature, thus there are numerous differences. To begin with, a couple of the characters are unique. Ellie was a major character in season 2. However, she doesn't appear in the books. Delilah, her sister, does however. A few characters from season 3 aren't in the novels. In this episode, we meet Natalie, Joe's mystery next-door neighbor, with whom he becomes obsessed. Natalie doesn't exist in the novel, and Joe only has one new obsession, a character who is similar to Marianne. Sherry and Carrie Conrad, Madre Linda's golden couple, don't exist either. Melanda and Seamus, on the other hand, are a couple that are quite similar. Some main plot arcs in the books are also different. In the books, many of the major plot lines are different. For starters, in the books, Love does not murder anyone at all. Candace and Delilah were murdered by Joe. However, her and 40's au pair were not slain, and her ex-husband perished in a car accident. In the 3rd book, no one dies at the hands of Love. Dr. Nikki and the officer realize Joe is very much of interest in the book after piecing together some of the evidence regarding Joe, his links to Beck, and his whereabouts when Peach died. He is apprehended and imprisoned until Love gives birth. In the end, he obviously gets away with it. Love and Joe divorce and live apart as a result of his arrest, with Joe refusing to communicate with their son. Also, Joe becomes enamored with a woman named Mary Kay, a librarian like Marianne in the novels. And when Love notices this, she invites Joe to see her in California. He thinks he's gonna see his son, but Love is waiting for him with a pistol. Love shoots Joe in the head before turning the pistol on herself, claiming she feels used. Joe recovers after 2 weeks in a coma, but Love dies. You Season 4 News. Greg Berlanti's Netflix original romantic crime drama series You is based on author Sara Gambled's novel You and Hidden Bodies. The announcement that You had been renewed for a 4th season came 48 hours before the 3rd season was released, which was a stunning decision by Netflix. Joe and Love's acrimonious relationship had come to a head in the season 3 finale of You, with Joe traveling continents in search of his next fixation, Marianne. So, we can only conclude that the fixation with relationships will continue in season 4. Season 4 cast members have yet to be announced by Netflix or the showrunners, but the final moments of season 3 indicated that Joe, Penn Badgley, was alive and well, and so would live to fight another day. And since Joe blew up Love Quinn in the season 3 finale, it's unlikely that she'll be back for additional episodes. As far as I know, she's dead. Victoria Pedretti stated in an interview with Marie Claire, although a trailer is still a long way off, Netflix has released a teaser for the 4th season, which features previous material and is branded with a brilliant pun, for you. So let's hope they start filming as soon as possible so we can see it sooner rather than later. Now that we've discussed some of the behind-the-scenes facts about You Season 4, it's now time to get into those facts we mentioned at the beginning of the video, as well as news regarding this 4th season. Let's look at how Penn Badgley almost declined the role of Joe Goldberg and how prosthetic body bodies are used for a lot of the gruesome scenes. Keep listening to find out all these details regarding You Season 4. Penn Badgley was on the verge of declining the role of Joe Goldberg. Penn Badgley had made no secret in the past that he feels Joe Goldberg is a nasty, awful person. And he's right, but he almost didn't take the job at all. He told Entertainment Weekly that he didn't want to do it since it was too much for him. He discusses how the nature of the role caused him to be conflicted. What is the message if this is a love story? My interactions with the creators Greg Berlanti and Sara Gambled, as well as my knowledge of Joe's humanity, were crucial in getting him to sign on. He knew he'd feel conflicted about the part from the beginning to the end, which is why they believed he'd be a good fit, but he wasn't looking forward to playing someone like that. Prosthetic bodies are used a lot for all the gruesome scenes. In that Season 2 scene, Penn Badgley didn't actually put any body parts through a mincer. It was a prosthetic body with genuine hair instead. We had a life-sized, highly authentic prosthetic body, he told TV Line. It was a headless body that felt and looked quite real to the touch and eye. Each hair on the body was real human hair that had been applied manually. So there was a lot of human labor that went into making this physique. It was rigid so that when you cut into it, it would bleed. There was also an arm that could be removed. In the scenes where Jasper the debt collector sliced off Joe's finger, Penn donned a prosthetic arm. It's great to know that some of the gruesome scenes we see are indeed fake and not real-life people. There you have it, all the details about the behind-the-scenes facts of the series You, and a look into the 4th season that was recently revealed. Some of these behind-the-scenes facts come as a surprise, whereas others are expected. We're glad Joe stuck to his character, as we have loved watching him throughout the many seasons we have had. Leave us a comment below about your favorite You season so far. We hope you enjoyed today's video, and thanks for watching.